just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance. I just wanna
Have a seat. We're going to have a nice skincare chat for about 10 minutes, and then you can go back and visit the CeraVe store and obviously all the other amazing stores. So as Siv said, my name's Dr. Lauren Knight, and I'm a dermatologist based in Cape Town. So today with CeraVe, we're going to be talking the barrier, your skin, ceramides, and how this all pertains to you. So when we think about barriers, these can either be, if you think in your head, quite frankly, physical, legislative, psychological, and good or bad things. So a good barrier, for example, would be those barricades on the highway that protect us, protect pedestrians from trashing. And a bad barrier would kind of be that one preventing you from getting on the stage at a Taylor Swift concert if she actually came and you managed to get tickets. So this then begs the question, is the skin barrier a good or a bad thing? So what the skin barrier is actually, our skin, as you know, is divided into 3 layers. So our outer epidermis, the middle dermis, and the lower hypodermis, where we have our fat and our supporting structures. And our barrier sits there right in the top of the epidermis in the stratum corneum. And the barrier we describe as this brick and mortar model. So our skin cells or corneocytes with our natural moisturizing factor are the bricks, and then the mortar or the cement is going to be your ceramides, your fatty acids, and your cholesterol. So we can't talk barrier without talking ceramides. You can't talk ceramides without talking CeraVe. So what are ceramides? So our ceramides are the predominant lipid components in our barrier. So they constitute 30 to 40% of the barrier. So that's including the cells. And they actually are 50% of the mortar or our cement component. It's important to remember, though, that the ceramides in the skin are quite specific. So ceramide 1, 3, 6, 2 are the ones that are found in the skin. And this is really important as they fit into the barrier in a lock and key or a puzzle kind of mechanism. And that's really important when you're looking to repair your barrier, that you need to be looking for the correct kind of ceramides. So now we know what the barrier is. What does our barrier actually do? Why is it so important? So the barrier acts as this permeability function in the skin. So it prevents what we call transepidermal water loss. And that's the loss of water from the deeper layer of the skins across the barrier to their outer environment. So it ensures that our skin stays hydrated. Additionally, there's an antimicrobial component. So our barrier is our first interaction of the environment with our immune system. So it tells your body, this is a problem, trigger that immune system, and your response starts to be mounted. Additionally, there's antioxidant repair enzymes that mop up free radicals. And if you're a skincare enthusiast, you'll know all about free radicals and the damage that it can do to your cell DNA. So your barrier has got a role in that too. And then there's a built-in UV protective factor in our barriers. So obviously our barriers are exposed to a lot of dynamic changes, and these could be external factors or internal factors. And your external factors that your barrier is subject to is obviously extremes of temperature, certain processes, ingredients that you could be using on your skin, allergens, irritants, and then medications that you're either taking or that you're applying to your skin. And then your internal factors would be your genetics, and then once again, if you've got inflammatory skin disorders, so eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, and acne. And these components all interfere or act against the skin and can cause barrier dysfunction or barrier damage. So we know our skin, our bodies are quite clever and quite apt at supporting, repairing things. So on exposure to these insults, certain self-repair mechanisms do kick in. So we see an immediate release of lipids, so that cholesterol, fatty acid, and ceramide, or the cement component within our barrier. You see an increased production of that natural moisturizing factor, which remember was with the corneocytes to make the structural component of the barrier. And then we see release of antimicrobial peptides and an increase in keratinocyte or skin cell proliferation. So what happens for a barrier to become damaged? It's quite simple. Essentially, your insults to the barrier outweigh your self-repair mechanisms. And that's going to then lead to barrier repair damage or compromise. So, signs of a damaged barrier, you might know these quite well. Dry, flaking skin, itching skin, sensitivity, particularly sensitivity to products that you were previously able to tolerate, shiny or tight-looking skin, redness or rashes, and then an irregularity in texture or acne breakouts. So some of you are nodding, thinking, I've encountered some of these, I'm suffering with this. So what do you actually do? How do you prevent further damage to your barrier? How do you look after your barrier? Well, it's not always as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, but you'll know that generally a stepwise mechanism is how we combat most things with skin problems. So we want to identify the problem. Here's where you need to do your homework. You need to interrogate those factors we spoke about. Is there something you're doing to your skin? Is there something you've been exposed to that could be damaging your barrier? And then also consider internal factors. So is there something intrinsic in your skin that is associated with barrier dysfunction? And here I ask you always to remember this, because if you can't identify a trigger, you've potentially gone through all the repair steps and your skin's still not settling. That's kind of your cue to get help to have your skin actually professionally analyzed. Then I want you to go back to basics. Strip away the 20-step routine, and we're just going to 3-step it. Cleanse, moisturize, and protect. And this gives your skin a chance to kick in those self-repair mechanisms to try and repair your barrier, which obviously does take some time. So give your skin some time. And then we're going to look at products that are going to support that self-repair mechanism. So your barrier repairing ingredients serve 2 functions. They essentially want to retain water, so prevent that transepidermal water loss, keeping the skin hydrated, and substitute or polyfill those gaps in your barrier. So our water-retaining ingredients are ingredients like hyaluronic acid, shea butter, glycerin, panthenol, and squalene. And these are the sponges of the skin. So they sit in your skin, suck in the water from your lower layers, hydrating your skin, locking that moisture into your barrier. Some of them also form a little bit of a film on top of the skin, if you will. So make an occlusive kind of tape over the top, preventing any transepidermal loss. Then we look at our barrier, replacing the barrier component kind of ingredients. And this is going to be your ceramides, fatty acids, and cholesterol. And again, this might be in ingredients or topical products that you are using. So what does your routine for barrier repair look like? How do we adapt this to your skin? So we said we're going to take it back to basics. You're going to cleanse, moisturize, protect the skin. And what's your step 1? We're wanting you to cleanse like a derm. What does that mean? You may have heard it on TikTok. And basically, we're asking you to use a cleanser that is gentle and formulated to your skin type or your skincare concern. Because again, here we are looking after your barrier. We're not wanting a cleanser that's going to strip and irritate your barrier. Then we want you to moisturize with purpose. Remember that not all moisturizers are made equal, and we are wanting to lock in the moisture, but then also potentially repair your barrier. So you're going to choose a moisturizer on the spectrum between something that's more water-based or something that's more oil-based. So more water-based is going to be your lotions, oil-based is going to be your creams. And you're going to choose that depending on how dry or dehydrated your skin is and your underlying skin type and skincare concern. And then I'm asking you to even ask for more in your moisturizer. So you're not just wanting to lock in and look for hydration, you're wanting barrier repair ingredients. So look for ceramides, fatty acids, cholesterol. And fortunately for you, CeraVe has got the ceramides that we said are found in the skin. So you need to be specific, not just have ceramides on your moisturizer. We're wanting ceramide 1, 3, 6, and 2 so that it can fit into that lock and key mechanism, synthetically replacing your natural moisturizer. And then we're wanting some additional moisture. So your MVE technology has got a sustained release of the hydration, keeping your skin hydrated, moisturized for longer. So you're getting a lot out of your moisturizer. Plus, we'll throw in some hyaluronic acid as an additional humectant to really plump up that barrier. Additionally, you want to make sure you're using products fragrance-free, hypoallergenic, non-irritating, because otherwise you're undoing all that good work you've done. And then we can't talk skincare without talking protection. So sun avoidance during the high time of 10 to 2, seeking the shade, staying out of the sun, and then sun protection. So sunscreen, at least an SPF 30, UVA and UVB. We're wanting you to use the correct amount, reapply your sunscreen, and then also consider UV protective clothing. So whether that be sleeves, hats, and just general clothing. And if you are suffering with barrier dysfunction, a disrupted barrier, you can also consider using a mineral sunscreen, as we find they're a little bit less irritating than chemical sunscreens if you're susceptible or suffering with barrier dysfunction. So that's a lot of information, a little bit of biology, a little bit of skin science, and hopefully a lot of improvement in your skin if this is something that you are suffering with. So a few things to remember. It's important. Your barrier is an important interface with the environment, but it also fulfills a number of important functions. And luckily for us, our bodies are quite clever or good at telling us when something is wrong. If you don't think you've got a barrier problem, you probably don't have one. If you've got a barrier problem, you're going to know about it. You will have had redness, dryness, irritation, sensitivity. You would know. Try and be clever about your skincare concerns. Interrogate the potential causes so that you can exclude them, and then build your skincare routine. I want you to repair or build your barrier by taking it back to basics. So cleanse, moisturize, and protect. And then look for products that are going to optimize your barrier repair and your barrier function. You're buying products anyway, so choose ones that are clever, suited to your concern and your goal. Okay, so that's it from me. Are there any questions from the audience? And then I think we've got 2 prizes to give away to our active listeners. Oh, 3 prizes. Good. Any questions? Please.
If you have regular skin everywhere, on your face, for example, but around your nose, you have dehydration, which comes up as sort of scaly little red marks. What type of single product can you use on just that area? It doesn't have to be something I put everywhere, because everywhere is fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's quite common what you're describing is a combination skin. So often people actually either have an oily combination in that zone. So look for a cleanser that is going to be a dry combination cleanser. And then you're looking for very barrier targeting ingredients in that area. So something like, I don't want to speak brands, but I think I'm supposed to. But so something like Aquaphor, La Roche-Posay does something called Cicaplast Balm. Something that's just looking for barrier repair there. But generally looking over your barrier, whole face, whole body is going to help that out. And you'll probably find it's also seasonal at certain times, either in season or in your cycle, that it does get a little bit more impaired than other times. Yes?
How does stress affect your skin?
How does stress affect your skin? I mean, in a multitude of ways. So we know that stress triggers your adrenals, triggers your adrenal corticoid response, and we see it in a multitude of ways. There's not one specific way. So if you've got an underlying skin condition, we often see that flaring. But then also, it depends on your skin. Some people will find that their skin gets a bit more dry, irritated, sensitive, whereas other people are on the spectrum of their skin becoming more oily, more acne prone, having breakouts. So it's one of those internal factors to have a look at when you're interrogating what is happening with your skin. Have you been through a very particularly stressful period? Or have you been stressed in your skin externally with what you're putting on it? So yes, your skin is definitely, we speak a lot about the mind-skin axis. So what's happening in the brain and the mind, stress does definitely manifest in the skin in many ways. Good, so for our prizes, can I give away the prizes?
Yeah, well, do you have any to give away?
We've got 3.
You've got 3. So you can therefore ask 3 questions.
Okay, amazing.
Any question.
Okay.
As difficult or as easy as you prefer. And let's see who's paying attention, and hopefully they can walk away with one of the 3.
Okay, amazing. So what are the 3 ceramides that are specific to your skin?
Oh, there we go. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
1, 3, 6, and 2.
Yes, good. Where in the skin is the barrier found?
That's a tough one. I don't even.
I don't know if you can win. In? A little bit higher? Yes.
I love that teamwork.
I mean, we
I
often
saw
learn
that.
more from the things we get wrong, I think. And then I want to know, what is the moisture-sustaining technology that we find in CeraVe?
Oh,
So it was a 3-letter thing. Any takers?
We've got a lady who wants to try.
Yes, MVE. So our MVE technology is a sustained release hydrating function. Thank you all so much and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, Dr. Knight.
Thank you.
I just wanna have fun, clap my hands, turn around now and dance, dance, dance.